Welcome back to In the Zone across West Michigan. Want to welcome Mac TV back on the airwaves, WCET-TV, and obviously right here on WCET. I'm Casey Ford. Joining me today, Mr. Ryan Pender from Allergo Coaching. Now, Ryan, some of the reasons, some of his techniques, we'll get on that this afternoon, of why I've been able to lose so much weight lately. And I've never done a show like this before.
Ooh.
So I've never actually interviewed a fitness coach or a fitness program or a beach body guy, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
But I've never done a show quite like this. Normally it's focused on coaches, athletes, athletic directors, talking my opinions or our opinion about the Tigers, Pistons, Lions, Red Wings. So this is brand new territory for me. But I know you obviously our time at Northern Michigan and you working for Motions Fitness and then now working for Allergo Coaching. Now, I want to get into this because what you guys have been able to do for me, and I have been going up there for a while now, and I've been kind of doing it on my own, has been amazing. I went from last summer 230 pounds to realizing I really love food and overindulging myself, and I ballooned back to 230 pounds.
Okay. With
the help of trainers, personal trainers like yourself, I'm back down to 207 as of today. Yes. Trying to get back to about the 190 range. I don't know if 191 or 198. I want to get back in the 190s, but I've been able to drop about 20-some pounds so far. I guess you've been doing this for a while, Ryan. What made you want to become a fitness instructor and a fitness coach?
That whole thing sort of dates back to when I was a young teenager. My grandparents, my grandfathers, one of them was Irish.
Good.
Diabetic. Right.
Irish. Gotta love the Irish.
Alcoholic, chain smoker. Passed away when he was in his early 60s. 6 months after he retired, he bought a boat, he bought all this sort of stuff, and his health just crashed within 6 months. And then my other grandfather, Italian and French, drank a lot, smoked a lot, same sort of story. And so both my grandfathers, two people who I really looked up to, were gone because of their own health habits. Okay. Now, my own father isn't an alcoholic or a smoker, but he was sort of following in his dad's roots. Has a big old belly on him. He's since then started talking to me, and he's taken some of that weight off. But when I was about 14, 15 years old, I looked in the mirror and then realized that I was starting to display some of those things. So from a teenager up until I went to college, I just began to be curious about what exercise is, what eating is, what nutrition is. And around then, like Atkins was hot, South Beach was hot, all these, fitness trends were starting to pop up. So I just started reading and trying different things. And then I came into Northern. I actually found you can develop a profession with this to help people and learn how the body works. And I was lucky enough to jump ship, Motions Fitness in Marquette, and start working instead of just in the classrooms with people like yourself who actually have, a similar story to what I had. You might want to lose some pounds, or you might have some disease in the family. You want to take care of it, and you want to seek out a professional. So I started working with people. I've been doing this for better part of a decade now, which kind of sounds weird. I sometimes see myself.
What are you, like 26?
27, okay. Going on 28.
Okay.
But yeah, so I really saw a change in myself. I saw what I was able to do with, it seems simple. The food you eat and how much you move is going to determine how you feel. But those are really two huge factors when you, actually put them in your day-to-day life.
Ryan Pender joins us right here on In the Zone across West Michigan from Allergo Coaching. Now, being at Allergo, where are you guys located?
We are located in Easttown, Grand Rapids. So if I say Robinson Road, it's just off of Lake Drive. Okay. A lot of people know where Yesterdog is. A lot of people.
That's the first thing I asked him when he came back in. I said, "How close are you to Yesterdog?"
5-minute walk. You can work out, get hot dogs. We have a bakery, ironically, right next door to us. If people know where Terra GR is, it's a restaurant a couple of years old. We're on the other side of the building. But yeah, we have a very nice location. We actually have a second location opening up on 29th Street.
Okay.
So things are going well for us.
Good.
Yeah.
Ryan Pender joins us right here on In the Zone across West Michigan. I'm Casey Ford. You can find me at Real Casey Ford on Twitter. I know you guys do the Twitter and the Facebook stuff. What do you got for that?
And so in terms of Twitter and Facebook, our handles for Instagram our Allegro coaching.
I don't Instagram.
No Instagram?
I'm old school. I like the Twitter. I like the Facebook.
And see, now think about that. Twitter is old school now.
Yeah.
I'm fairly confident because I'm not a Twitter person. I know it's still hot. I believe we have Allegro coaching. So everything Allegro coaching. That's what it is for Facebook, Instagram. I'm assuming Twitter because we try to cover all social media.
Let's get into nutrition a little bit because I know everybody is different.
Yeah.
I want to say every male is different, and what females do is completely different than what males do. Mm-hmm. Males always seem like they want to hit the weights and everything, and that's how they're going to lose weight. That's not necessarily true. I know that for a fact, everybody.
Yep.
But I've learned that if I eat a bigger meal at noon and eat just like hamburger no bun or steak, things like that at dinner time, I feel like I lose more weight by eating more at noon, less at nighttime. Mm-hmm. I guess, is that with my body, I feel like with yogurt, bananas, things like that in the morning, or like some wasabi peas, for instance, for snack, that I've dropped more weight. Now, am I doing it properly? Am I not doing it properly? I mean, it's been working for me. Do I continue that route?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a huge multifaceted question. So obviously you're losing weight, so what you're doing now is really working for you. And you look great, you don't look sickly or anything like that. But like with the original question, when you tend to eat smaller meals at night, well, you think about it. You're done for the day. Maybe you have some mental tasks to do, but you're not going to run around. You're not going to lift big, heavy things. So you really don't need a lot of energy at night.
Wait till you have kids.
This guy.
Yeah. Well, we might bring him up the stage later, but yes.
Yeah, let's see. But your body is in a resting, recovering state. So you need things like protein because, speaking along a biochemical standpoint, your body needs protein to rebuild the muscle that you just stress throughout the day and with your workouts and your exercise or whatever it is you're doing. Going into more specifics about things like your hormonal patterns. So eating is going to have a huge effect on those, which as a guy, we need to eat a lot of protein to make testosterone.
I will also throw it out there, and I don't know if you found this accurate or not, but it feels like sometimes guys do PMS and they sometimes just need chocolate from time to time.
Some guys have their own, I won't say the word, but yeah, they have their own male PMS version. So yeah, some guys are chocolate. Some guys are, salt freaks. They need chips or they need those brats. But yeah, all that really boils down to brain chemistry. So if you're really constantly craving something, it could lead to a deficiency, like you may be deficient in magnesium or zinc or these small little trace minerals that we don't get from day-to-day foods.
And this is stuff that you went to school for. You learned how to become I don't want to say a body coach, but something like that, a fitness instructor. Mm-hmm. Because obviously, you just mentioned it, everybody's body is different. Whether you need salt or you need chocolate, people like to cut out carbs. And I said, that's the worst thing you can do. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, because when you cut out carbs, you're cutting out a huge thing. So when you're just straight protein, people love the Atkins diet.
Of course.
But that's not the best thing for you, in my opinion.
No, absolutely not. Obviously, I think you can just put in a big umbrella term as a ketogenic diet. So people are going keto or just eating meats, fibrous vegetables, and that's it. So no carbs, fruits, whatever. So for some people, 10% of the population, I'd say that works. But the majority of us need carbohydrates. If you have a lot of mental tasks to do, you need carbs because your brain runs on glucose. And so it really can't efficiently work with anything else. So you cutting out your fruits, your breads, your grains, like you could probably tell if you tried low carb, after a few days you're getting lethargic, you might be getting crabby because your brain is trying to use different fuels to give your brain energy to think. So if you're at your job or you have a little stress thing of stress next to you that's really making your brain rack back and forth, your brain's going crazy. And so, yeah, it is.
Ryan Pender from Allergo Coaching joins us right here in the zone across West Michigan. I'm Casey Ford. Follow me on Twitter, Real Casey Ford, and obviously on Facebook. You just search for Casey Ford or whatever Facebook does these days. They're changing every 5 days. I guess one of the big things, and obviously living in the Upper Peninsula, being from Grand Rapids, you go to any especially one in Jenison now is going to be opening up soon. There's bars now in Hudsonville. When I was growing up, you didn't have any of that on Sunday, anything like that. You couldn't go to Holland for crying out loud and get a drink on Sunday. I mean, half the businesses in Holland weren't even open.
Right.
But now you got, New Holland Brewery. I mean, you know about the breweries all in the Upper Peninsula and obviously downtown Grand Rapids now. One of the biggest things I did was I pretty much cut out drinking. I drink on a Friday or Saturday, but not to excess or anything anymore. But I know those are a lot about empty carbs and just kind of just doing what you like to do or social. And being in the Upper Peninsula, a lot of people drink. You're well aware of this.
Yeah.
But I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand. I mean, talk about empty carbs.
Yeah.
Because I don't know much about this. I mean, pretty much what I did, and it's getting the right mental capacity. I don't really snack anymore. I don't really eat the Cheez-Its. I actually do the MyFitnessPal, and I kind of track everything. So I guess empty calories. Yeah. What exactly does that mean?
Okay, so that one, it's fun to explain because there are a lot of different things that can be considered empty calorie now. So let's take, obviously, your booze is one, because you literally get nothing from it except, maybe a little happy in your brain, a little stress relief. So it's good for something.
Or liquid courage.
Yeah, absolutely. You got maybe I have to talk on TV. I didn't do that, by the way. Yeah. But no, so things like alcohol, that's obviously number one. Anything that doesn't give you any, say, vitamins or minerals. So if it's something like a juice, which is just a bunch of flavored sugar water, or these sports drinks, which again are flavored sugar water, but going along lines of snacks. So most like of your crackers, your processed foods, the more processing you do to a food, whether it's a grain or even stuff like milk, you're not getting the whole benefit from the food as it was its whole form. So a whole grain or whole milk or having an actual orange instead of orange juice, those are the whole food versions of what those empty calories become. So essentially, the more you process any sort of food down, the more it becomes an empty calorie.
See, the things I noticed, like with MyFitnessPal, and I'm, like I said, I'm a big proponent of this because it tracks the calories. It tells you when something's high in saturated fat. It tells you high in fiber. This has a lot of vitamin C. This has a lot of vitamin A. I've noticed that the saturated fat isn't necessarily bad for you.
No.
Because a lot of people, it says red, like 37% saturated fat. I was like, that kind of helps you burn calories, and as long as you're active. Obviously, if you're not active, things will be a little bit different. Like, for instance, I woke up, I was like, and I had a bottle of wine last night. I woke up, but I went for a 2-mile walk and run this morning because I want to get out of my system, and it's just becoming more active. Now, with all of that, saturated fats, I feel like I'm normally around the 40% saturated fat. I'm somewhere between 30 and 40% carbs, and the rest is protein. Is there like a math equation to help you more than another? Because obviously you don't want to be like 78% protein or anything like that. That's not going to help you either, unless you're like doing mass body weight and trying to put on muscle.
Yeah, I mean, so let's just talk you and me, because there's going to be a person that wants to build a lot of muscle. There's a person that really wants to cut fat quick.
Clearly, I'm not Hulk Hogan here.
Not yet.
not even the Ultimate Warrior.
Not yet. But no, it depends on what your goals are. So for a majority of the population, say 80-90% of the population, they just want to be more fit. They want to lose 10, 20, 30 pounds. And they want to be supplied with all the energy that they need without being left anything out. So, we like to have our macronutrients, carbs, fats, proteins, and even balance as much as you can without being too of a stickler on the numbers. So, mathematically 33.3% protein, carbs, and fat.
Like 99% right there.
Yeah, I know you leave that percentage for alcohol, maybe.
Ryan Pender from Allergo Coaching joins us right here on In the Zone across West Michigan. People say yogurt probably not the best thing to eat in the morning. I like having yogurt. They said you should have something that stimulates you first, eggs, proteins, things like that. I know a lot of people, especially people I work with at Fry Chevrolet, where you can call me on a great car, 906-226-2577. I am extension 160, and Ryan did happen to get a car for me. That's not why he's here, though.
No.
Yeah, but no, you can get a car for me, Fry Chevrolet. I got to throw that out there because obviously I am here and there and pretty much all across the state. So I know a lot of people that do shakes in the morning. I don't know if it's Shakeology, which is another thing that people do.
Absolutely.
But I don't mind the Greek yogurt. I use Dannon a lot, and they're not paying me by any means to say their name, but I use the Dannon Greek yogurt. I use frozen strawberries or frozen blueberries or raspberries at the same time. But some people say it's cool. Other people say, it doesn't get your metabolism going. I guess, what are your thoughts on that? Because there's so many different things. I don't want to miss out on anything.
Right. There's a bunch of different opinions on that. So my big opinion is what's in the yogurt. So if it's just plain Greek yogurt, whether it's fat or non-fat, fine by me. That's stuff that I use. Sometimes I have it for breakfast in the morning. But if your yogurt is loaded with sugar, high fructose corn syrup, then it's really not any better than having a bowl of Fruit Loops and milk in the morning.
Okay.
But rather, you're still getting, because your Greek yogurt is mostly protein.
Yeah.
That's all it is from the process that's used to make it.
Right.
So it has just as much protein as about 3 eggs, depending on if you have the fat version or non-fat. It has about as much fat as 2 eggs. But if you're still having the non-fat, then throw in some walnuts in there. That way you get some good fat, some good omega-3s, which is good for reducing inflammation. So on a macronutrient level, if you throw some fruit in there as well, it's pretty well balanced as terms of a breakfast.
I'm glad you mentioned omega-3s because omega-3 is like fish oil. And you need that, and I love green olives, which is good. Just don't have too much, obviously. Right. Yeah, but green olives are good for you, things like that. But the thing I love about fish oil and the fish oil pill, what exactly are they putting in there? What part of the fish? And people take fish oil, like my dad, and I hope he doesn't get mad. He's diabetic. He takes fish oil pills, but I try not to do that. I eat a lot of tuna, omega-3. I eat green olives, the omega-3 things like that. What's fish oil pills good for you?
Depends.
Okay.
A lot of these questions you're asking, I've diverted from saying it depends for all of them.
Right. Because I know it goes back to everybody's different.
Yeah.
But I mean, as a whole, are fish oil pills good for you?
Okay. So at the very bottom end of the spectrum, let's say, not doing any pitches, but your Walmart, your generic brand of fish oils, probably not that good for you because they'll say they take the cod liver oil, they'll take the krill oil, which if it were actually that would be good for you, but they take those oils from other bottom feeder fish. So instead of having omega-3 fatty acids, which is determined by what those fish eat.
Okay.
So if you eat a lot of cheese, you eat nothing but cheese, you wouldn't have any omega-3 fatty acids, you would have the other kind.
Okay.
But if you have a higher quality fish oil pill, the best would be getting these oils from, say, Norwegian cold water fish.
Okay.
Actually from Norway. You have to find a fish that has eaten good quality foods. It's natural foods instead of being fed grains and corn. Because if you do that to a deer, it's probably going to get a lot bigger, a lot fatter.
And people love when horses, cows, deer eat naturally. None of this. Yes.
Grass-fed, whatever is their natural appetite. Because Americans want bigger stuff for cheaper, so all the farmers and conglomerates said, let's just get these things as big as we can with hormones and
which aren't good.
No, not very good. But so we've sort of taken this thing into the supplement market with fish oil. So they're just getting as much fish as they can, meaning they take them from whatever natural size it is to twice its size by feeding it something differently. But that fish oil, even though it's advertised to have omega-3s, because the supplement market is not regulated, they can say whatever it is or whatever.
Ryan Pender from Allergo Coaching joins us right here on In the Zone across West Michigan. I am Casey Ford. I'm not saying go out, change your life, you got to start bodybuilding, pumping iron. That's not what fitness is about. I mean, like I indicated this morning, I went out, I walked, I ran. It's about being active and getting your heart stronger. The reason your heart needs it stronger because obviously the older you get, the weaker it kind of gets. And if you can get your heart stronger now, theoretically you'd live longer. Theoretically. Now, I know people that are scared of you guys.
Well, we try to be intimidating.
Yes.
That's our thing.
But I say that jokingly because people see fitness coaches and people like yourself, and sometimes they get intimidated by them because the first day they walk in, they see a guy, you're cut, you're in shape, and I don't know if they get distracted by them or be like, oh, I can't do this.
Yeah, it's sort of an unattainable goal.
Yeah, I guess, how do you overcome the first couple times of going and being comfortable at that point?
Well, in terms of, like, say, you're the client. And
yes.
So.
Because you've seen me there.
Yeah. I've seen you be comfortable. I've seen you be a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
Because the first couple times you go is scary.
Absolutely.
So I guess, how does one person get in that right mindset of becoming comfortable and being okay with being pushed to get the results that you want?
You just said it. All depends on what you want. So a lot of people go into a gym, go into a facility, and they have wandering eyes. They look at what this person's doing, what this person looks like. Erase that from your memory board mentally. So it's not about the people next to you, it's about you and your goals.
Okay.
Because even though, if you're 50 pounds overweight, say, and you see the guy next to you and he's, pumping iron, he's cut, he's jacked, and you get a little distraught, that guy might have looked like you a year ago.
Right.
And so maybe he's a person you can talk to, or maybe the person that's literally training you had a story similar to yours. So I guess your story, I'm not trying to beat anybody down, your story is not exactly very specific to you. A lot of people in gyms come from the same place, being unhealthy, being overweight, being unhappy with how they look. But if you're still looking for that little extra comfort, just talk to trainers. I know that we sometimes seem intimidating, but we all love helping people. No matter what sort of gym you come into, you should be greeted with, a smiling face or something like.
Just because I don't want to leave, and it's going to happen just because it's what I do. But obviously you have the Fitness 19s, you have the Anytime Fitness, you have Allergo coaching. I mean, up in the UP you have Motions, and you have a bunch of Synergy Fitness, things like that. I guess, is it better to go to like an organized group to see a personal trainer, or is it better to kind of do things on your own? The reason I say that is because I've done the stuff on my own, and I've done the stuff with a trainer. And when you do stuff on your own, you could be doing it wrong and hurting your body.
Exactly.
So I know what line of work you're in, and I know
you know what my brain is saying.
But at the same time, I mean, is it better or worse? Because I also know people that, like myself, they played high school sports. They think they know the right way of training. They'll go to an Anytime or a Fitness 19 and kind of work out on their own. Is there an advantage to doing one over the other?
In terms of starting out on your own without any sort of guidance, being the weekend warrior in his early 40s, 50s, whatever, thinking he can do stuff right out of the bat from when he was in high school, chances are you're probably going to get hurt. Just from my experience, guys are a lot more stubborn going into trainers because we think we know what to do.
Clearly.
But yeah, of course.
Well, I did this 20 years ago. I can do this.
But for people who have not done anything, period, or have not done anything in a while, you need guidance.
Okay.
Because you may be doing something wrong and it feels right because that's the way you've done it for a while.
Right.
But all trainers are exactly that. Trained professionals who specialize in body movement, so they can either take you through your journey or they can help build you so you can eventually do it on your own. And so like myself, I'm not in it for money. I don't want to train people for lifetimes.
Well, you gave us a perfect example why you're in it, and I think that's awesome.
Absolutely. But, people think that we just want to beat on people and take their money, but some people, we develop programs for them. We make sure they can do it on their own. And some people, it's, as little as, one session a week. You have your program. If you need more, come back. But other people, they know they're not going to do it on their own, period. So they just keep coming for whatever works for them.
We'll get a little bit in because we only have a few minutes remaining. But how much do you like planks?
I love planks.
Really?
Yes.
I hate planks. I'm getting better at them.
Yeah. And once you get really good at them, and you'll sort of flash back to when you first tried them and how much you were cursing at whoever was making you do them. I'm sure you remember that moment. He was probably laughing at you.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But no, I love them. They're great. They feel good. Maybe it's just my sadistic mentality.
Yeah. How do you feel about because I know like beach body coach, you've done some of that as well. Is there anything, I don't know, I guess I'm going to lose the terminology here because being a personal trainer, do you like being outside better or you like being at the beach better? Because I know when you run in the sand, I don't want to say better for you, but you get stronger.
Yeah, it's a different kind of resistance. If I were to pick one over the other, just because of what you can do, I prefer being outside, say in a big grassy field, because then you can take a bunch of equipment out there, you can find a tree, climb on it. But if you're on the beach, then you just have the sand, you have the water, which, it has its own purposes.
It's easier to plank in the sand, by the way.
Oh, it is.
Well, because you can kind of dig yourself.
You can dig in there. Yeah, I like it.
You want to learn the tricks of the trade. How does someone get a hold of you? How do they get an appointment with Ryan Pender?
So you can actually try to contact me on my personal cell phone number, 906-250-8241. Our number for Allergo coaching, 616-451-9000. Or you can stop in and see us at our Easttown location, which is 1400 Robinson Road, Southeast in Grand Rapids. Just look for Yesterdog, and we're right across.
Get some hot dogs before or after.
There you go, before or after. But yeah, you could also reach us at Allergo Coaching on Facebook, also our Instagram, Allergo Coaching. Yeah.
Hey, so this little guy, this name is Sullivan. Hey, can you wave? You can't wave? He's wearing a Detroit Lions shirt, very proud of that, especially being in the Upper Peninsula and being born a Yooper. Hey, stay still, bud. So this is the reason. This guy right here is the reason why I started going to you guys in the first place, because I want to make sure I live long enough to see you.
That's right.
Graduate and get married, things like that. So you had your father or your grandfather and your relative. This was my biggest reason right here. Yeah. Because you are my boy. Yeah. And this is his first television debut.
Oh.
Yes, I know. I told him not to get in television, but it's kind of fun and kind of awesome. Show everybody your shirt. For this reason, whether it's your relatives or your kids, I do highly advise getting yourself in shape. You want to be there for maybe to become a grandparent if that's your thing. But just improve your quality of life, and I love what you guys do. Allergo coaching and being a life coach, and that's kind of what it is, because you can stray. You just have to have the right mentality to be able to want to do it.
Absolutely.
If you don't have that right mentality, it doesn't matter what you do, it's not going to work.
Bingo.
And obviously you guys can help coach and teach and tell people what to eat and get them on the right. I mean, we did journals, for crying out loud, when I met you the first time, because if you don't know what you're putting in the body, you just don't know how to change it.
Yeah.
And if you're eating nothing but processed stuff, it's never going to work.
Exactly.
Was it HMOs you don't want? Or
no.
Not
GMOs.
GMOs. Yeah.
No GMOs.
You look for stuff with labels that say like no, like without GMOs, because then you're going to be a lot better off. And you can find it whether you go to Meijer or Walmart or Target or
they all have it.
Any kind of supplement store. Don't get stuff with GMOs in it, because that's not really healthy for you. But I appreciate your time, as always. Are you getting back to the Upper Peninsula for the 4th of July at all?
Not for the 4th of July. I'm going to be there at the end of July. Okay. We have a wedding up in Marquette, so.
July 23rd, my wedding anniversary.
Oh,
or was it 24th?
Well, maybe we'll celebrate.
Probably should know that. Hopefully the wife ain't watching this. It's one of those days.
It was a joke.
Yeah,
it was a joke.
It was a joke. It was 24th.
We were.
It's in the end of July. It's on my calendar. So
you got the month right.
Yeah, it's in July. It's on the calendar, so we're good to go there. I think that's the Teal Lake Swim that weekend too.
Oh, it is.
It's something. If it's not, it's the very last weekend. But
yeah.
It's a lot of fun. You can find me on Twitter, Real Casey Ford. Also on Facebook at Casey Ford. Obviously, watch WCET for all local programming, and Ben does a decent job with the In the Zone. Well, I don't watch the game. The Game of Thrones are on. You know this.
Oh, you can't miss episodes.
I know, and when I watch, it's good. But I'm a Game of Thrones guy. until Game of Thrones are done, I don't have a lot of time for this shit.
I know. Another month left.
Yeah, I know. And I love Jon Snow. He's my favorite. Actually, I'm a huge Khaleesi guy.
Well, what guy isn't?
All right, for Ryan Pender, this is Sullivan Ford. I'm Casey Ford. Thanks for watching In the Zone across West Michigan. Until next time, which I don't know when it'll be, Ben will take you here from here on out. So long, everybody.
See ya.
God, what's this? What's this?